But I am very grateful, Sir Christopher, for the opportunity to speak today in this adjournment debate about Amazon. And I want to tell a story about a constituent of mine, Roland Branner, who this year should have been celebrating 20 years of his successful growing family business, selling motorcycle protective clothing. He spent 11 years, Sir Christopher, as a sole trader, then 8 years as a limited company, and in each year he achieved continued growth. It was a successful, viable business with quality products that were competitively priced and in demand. In 1999, his business, Biker's Gear, began importing self-designed, own-brand motorcycle clothing from a factory in Pakistan and sold it online via his own website and on eBay. In 2001, he opened a high street store in Barry in South Wales, and in 2002, he accepted an invitation from Amazon to become a merchant on their newly launched non-video and book UK marketplace. And his business, Sir Christopher, continued to flourish. In March 2010, Biker's Gear UK was incorporated as a limited company, and in 2013, they launched their brand across Europe via Amazon's European platforms. In 2013, they registered for VAT in both Germany and France. And in 2014, they launched a German and French-speaking customer service team based in Leipzig. In 2015, they completed EU-wide registration of their Biker's Gear trademark logo. So this should be the story, Sir Christopher, of a lad from a council estate, from a single-parent family who made good. But instead, I'm afraid to say, it's the story of a small businessman who finds himself having to start all over again, his business having had to close, and all because of the way that his small company, Biker's Gear UK, was treated by the global conglomerate that is Amazon. The real problem started, Sir Christopher, when Amazon approached Mr. Branner in May 2016 for a retail manufacturer partnership, which he accepted as an opportunity to go to the next stage with his business. He would concentrate on expanding the manufacturing of the product, Amazon on the selling, and they forecast great potential for growth. He was aware, Sir Christopher, that one of his manufacturers in Pakistan had a family relative trading in Australia who sold similar motorcycle garments. So in 2010, he'd created an image user agreement in order to protect his online images from any potential infringement via this Australian brand. Following the agreement, he began receiving offers of orders for more than €1 million during 2017 from Amazon. Many he could not accept to begin with due to delivery windows, not holding enough stock in South Wales. The problem being his main Pakistan supplier was refusing many large purchase orders, and he took action to drop this particular supplier. And during 2017, because of this and complaints from Amazon regarding poor order acceptance rates, he, on 2 occasions, travelled to Luxembourg and met with Amazon buyers. And Mr. Branner reassured them he would increase the stock in his South Wales warehouse to improve the order acceptance rate for 2018. He explained to Amazon buyers that the low acceptance rate was due to the problem at one particular factory, and explained that in order to resolve this supply issue in 2018, he planned to introduce another supplier. He informed them he would personally be investing £75,000 to increase his holding stock, as he was fully committed to the Biker's Gear UK business, and he would do this by remortgaging his home. In 2018, Sir Christopher, he approached Barclays Bank and obtained the mortgage. And as promised, he began increasing the stock in his South Wales warehouse, and all should have been well. But at the same time, he noticed the Amazon order had by now almost stopped. He started investigating and noticed that the Australian brand had started selling their brand on the Amazon UK platform. Now, at this point, it appeared they might have been offering different garments to the Biker's Gear UK garments and not selling products with his barcode or European article number, which is now known as the International Article Number, which delineates the product on websites. But with the exception of the new 2018 range, no orders were being received from Amazon by Bikers Gear UK. Even their best-selling garments were not being ordered. Now, Mr. Brennan presumed that Amazon holding stock would run out and he could return to selling the garments successfully again, as he did before the pre-Amazon 2016 agreement. He started checking the website stock level, which is clearly visible on the Amazon website, Sir Christopher, when you purchase on that website. It would state things like 4 left in stock, more on the way. He checked back days later, and the stock available had gone up on his product from 4 to 18. It was clear that even though Amazon had not purchased any new stock, their inventory was going up and not down. Something was clearly wrong.
Would my friend give way?
I will give way to my honourable friend.
The experience of his constituent isn't uncommon. Many people who allowed Amazon to take the business end away found that actually Amazon started to sell on their behalf, and then their business was squeezed. In Germany, a company called Cancom said, to team up with Amazon, it's like team up with the devil. We team up with Amazon, but not in a transactional area. So this is a common business practice with Amazon.
Well, I can only say that I know that my constituent would entirely endorse that view from that German company because of his own personal experience. And as I outline the rest of the story of what happened, I think it'll be clear why that is the case. I will give way.
Before we move on, thank you for giving way and for bringing this to the House for consideration. One of the things that I've done in my research on Amazon and SMEs, I'm aware that the SMEs have some 2.3 billion in sales through Amazon, so there is potential for SMEs to do well. Is the honourable gentleman advocating a regulation through the Minister's Department and through government to ensure that the customers who use Amazon and Amazon themselves can both benefit from the sales? Because I think that's important to do so.
Well, I think we all understand the importance of sales online to small and medium-sized enterprises, and in fact the huge opportunity that this kind of tech platform has given to small businesses, and that is to be welcomed. But along with that comes the responsibility on tech platforms wielding huge market power to treat small businesses fairly and to treat them in an ethical fashion. And I'm afraid that isn't what has happened in this case, and as we've heard in other cases as well. Because, as I described earlier on, the stock on the website was going up, even though they weren't ordering any new stock from my constituents. Something was clearly wrong. He contacted his account manager, who refused to help, other than passing him a link on the Amazon website to report any infringement. He contacted intellectual property lawyers, and they advised him to test purchase his own brand listings on the Amazon website. The test purchases, which were advertised, remember, Sir Christopher, as his brand on the website, were in fact the Australian brand when they turned up. Astonishingly, and in my view, Sir Christopher, dishonestly, Amazon were using his Bikers Gear UK Limited brand to pass off another different brand supplied by the factory he had previously ceased trading with. But this factory were using Bikers Gear UK garment patterns. He could not establish any line of contact, and by now his Amazon account manager was bouncing back his messages with the message, and I quote, "mailbox unable to receive your mail." In effect, Sir Christopher, Amazon had pilfered all his data, his brand name, his product reviews, barcodes, and his customer base. He had lost 75% of work for the past 8 months, and he would have to liquidate the business before he fell into heavy debt. With September approaching and the bike season closing, he would be in danger of running up debts with very good people he'd been trading with for the past 18 years. So as a result, Sir Christopher, he lost his family business, and his family lost their jobs in that business. How could this happen? When Bikers Gear made a commercial decision to move production and end the relationship with their main supplier in Pakistan and move production to a new modern factory, those suppliers contacted Amazon's buying team in Luxembourg, requesting to supply Biker Gear UK's garments direct to them. Mr. Branner has seen email evidence from Amazon showing the Pakistan supplier had made contact directly with Amazon in Luxembourg, and the content of this email was that their factory could supply the garments to Amazon direct. The factory had obtained important Amazon contact email addresses where Mr. Branner did not remove Amazon's email contact details from a forwarded message to the factory earlier that year. In January 2018, Amazon started taking supply from the Pakistan supplier. There was a very slight change made to the logo on the garments they supplied to Amazon, but in essence, they were Mr. Branner's designs. It was as if you reversed the tick on a pair of Nike trainers, Sir Christopher, which I'm sure you're aware of, and then passed them off to the public as an original pair of Nikes. Amazon were by now passing off the non-registered garments to Mr. Branner's European customers using all his data information. Within 8 months, the Bikers Gear Company were in financial difficulty and unable to continue their legal action against Amazon. And in August 2018, this law-abiding, tax-paying company went into liquidation. 7 people based in the UK lost their jobs, 5 full-time and 2 part-time. The 5 full-time workers claimed redundancy money from the government totalling £25,000 to £30,000. Bikers Gear UK, in their last full financial year's trading, April 2016 to 27, had turnover over £1 million, Sir Christopher, and the company paid taxes and duties of approaching £150,000 across the European Union. And today, Amazon continues to pass off these garments to the public. Bikers Gear UK business grew organically year on year by reinvesting profits back into the company and growing the Bikers Gear catalogue. And ironically, Sir Christopher, in January of this year, Roland and his Bikers Gear company were invited by Lord Eric Pickles to take part in the 2019 parliamentary review, which was originally set up by David Cameron and is co-chaired by David Blunkett, to share knowledge and good practice and raise industry standards. Mr. Branner felt unable to take up that invitation under the circumstances. This is a cautionary tale for small businesses. Mr. Branner, a successful small business sells via Amazon. Amazon offers a partnership to expand the cake and to take a slice, but instead of which they take effectively the whole cake. Mr. Branner now deeply regrets having gone into partnership with Amazon, and far from helping this small business to grow, Amazon effectively cloned his business and starved the original. They're too big for Mr. Branner to take on, and he's now having to start all over again with his new brand, Black Tab Motorcycle Clothing, and a small retail shop again in Barry, South Wales. But I say to the Minister, this is the type of predatory capitalism being practiced by some big tech businesses that the government needs to be aware of and to act upon. And I ask the Minister, what is the government doing to protect small businesses and people like my constituent Roland Branner from being drowned in the vast waters of Amazon and other institutions of the new high-tech plutocracy?
The question is that this House has considered Amazon and the treatment of SMEs.